Aham, so far, Bhagavad Pravaha, we are brought till the fourth canto. We have heard the overview of Bhagavatam, and then Bhagavatam is the Lord Himself, endorsed by Padma Purana, the whole Bhagavatam in 1 hour, first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, and today will be the final session of the fourth canto. So, what did we hear in the fourth canto? First one is about Sati Charita, that is Daksha's yajna, and second one is about the start of the descendants of Uttanapada, Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva Charita, and then Prithu Charita. And then after Prithu comes the descendants going down, Prachina Barishat and Prachetas. That's what we are hearing now. So we have heard about how Prachetas, 10 sons of Prachina Barishat, heard Rudra Gita, right? And now, right now, what they're currently doing is they're doing the tapasya. They're taught Rudra Gita by Lord Shiva, and so they went under the water. Right now, currently, they're doing the tapasya. So they've started that long time ago. So tapasya is happening on one side. And then on this side, as we have discussed last time, as we have heard, Narada Muni went to Prachina Barishat, right? So what's happening on this side? Narada Muni, he tried to bring Prachina Barishat to his senses, to let him know what his how his condition is precarious. Yeah, for that he said the whole allegorical story last time, and first he gave the future vision of how all the sacrificed animals are waiting to kill Prachina Barishat, and after that he gave that allegorical story, and finally he came to the final point where Puranjana goes into the next body, in the body of a female body, Vaidarbhi. She was the queen of Malayadwaja, right? So finally the story came to Malayadwaja. He leaves his body, and then Vaidarbhi was sobbing in the forest, and then there's Brahmana, who is Avignata, Paramatma himself, Avignata. He enlightens Vaidarbhi and says, you are neither a male or female, you are a soul, and I'm super soul, so we are eternal companions. Vahatakua, right? We have heard till there. And then Prachina Barishat, he heard all this allegorical story and everything from Narada Muni. He still did not get it. And so he asked Narada Muni, I heard what you said. I kind of got it a little bit, but can you please be direct? And please tell me what's going on with me. Where am I doing wrong? And where can I do right? So can you directly instruct me? That's what Prachina Barishat asks. So now we are entering into that session. So we will be hearing about the direct instructions of Narada Muni to Prachina Barishat. This will be good. So now the Bhagavatam, it kind of went into a different plane of allegorical storyline and everything, and now is coming back to the Bhagavatam plane of direct instructions of the pure devotees to this submissive people, submissive devotees, right? That we will hear now. So what are the direct instructions of Narada to Prachina Barishat? That we will hear. And the second one, second topic would be, what happened to the Prachetas? They're still under the sea. 10,000 years ho gaya. Then after that, what happened to the Prachetas? That we will hear. And the continuation of how Prachetas went back home, back to Godhead. These are the three topics. The last part of the fourth canto. This is what we are going to do. So now entering into the first topic. First topic of how Narada Muni is directly instructing Prachina Parishad. Okay. And that would be 29. You don't see that yet. So Narada Muni to Prachina Parishad. He's half ripened now. Prachina Parishad. He's kind of warmed up now with the allegorical story. He got really alert, very inquisitive, and very receptive. And now he's ready to receive direct instructions. So Narada Muni, he quickly mentions about who is who in the allegorical story. Okay. And after that, we will see what direct instructions he gives to Prachina Parishad. So in the allegorical story, if you remember, Puranjana is the Baddha Jiva, conditioned soul. And this Puranjana came into the Brahmanda. And why did he come? Because he forgot the Lord. That's why he got into the effect of these modes. That's one thing. Okay. As he got into the Brahmanda, what happened? This is our story, dear devotees. This is our history, what has happened to us. Okay. So, because we forgot Krishna, we were putting the in these modes, right? And then this conditioned soul is in the Brahmanda now, and this soul has this Puranjani wife, right? That is corrupted material intelligence. Why is this a corrupted material intelligence? If you remember, in the second canto, in the very beginning, if you remember, Sarga, and in the Sarga part, from the Ahamkara comes the three modes, right? Mahatattva and then Ahamkara. So that Ahamkara part is from the ignorance portion of the Mahatattva. So there itself, the formula is like, the ignorance has creeped in the very beginning. So from that Ahamkara comes these three gunas, right? From these three gunas comes the intelligence. So the bottom line is, this intelligence is so much affected by Ahamkara, which came from the ignorance. So all that is a theory. What does it means in practice? What it means is this Puranjani, this polluted intelligence, it is always telling us, the conditioned souls, see how you are so very important. You are the center of the world. Yeah. And everybody that you see around, everything that you see around is yours. So I am the center of the world. And what I feel is important. What I do is important. Yeah. And everybody I see around, everything I see around is mine. It's mine. Yeah. So because everything is mine, everybody is mine, they have to do what I think they should do. They have to think this way, they have to do this way, yeah, and they have to be this way. So I am the controller. They are mine. I am their proprietor. And if they do that way, that's how I feel better. I am the enjoyer. It's I and my. Software corrupted ho gaya. This is the corrupted software. The virus has entered into the software in the form of I and my. Yeah. Now with this corrupted software, this Jiva is now making its journey. So what is happening? In the Brahmanda, there are 14 planetary systems. There are 8,400,000 species. Yeah. So as the soul with this corrupted intelligence is making its journey, it's passing from one body to the other body, one body to the other body, in search of how can I be happy? I want to be happy. I can create my happiness. Yeah. in this I and my thing, it's making this journey. And in this Brahmanda, there are all these three modes are there: goodness, ignorance, and passion. If a particular jiva happened to have a little more goodness, then that jiva that goes into the heavenly planets. There, the goodness is little more. They also have ignorance. Otherwise, why will they do some nonsense things? Yeah. But the mode of goodness is little more than the other planets that are down below. So those jivas that have little more goodness, they go into the heavenly planets. Those jivas who has more of passion than goodness, this is the plane. Welcome to the planet Earth. Not just the planet Earth. This is not just one planet, but the Bhumandala. We will see more the details of Bhumandala in the next chapter, 5th canto. Yeah. So this plane of Bhumandala is all passionate one. So that's where the souls who has more of passion, they stay here. And those souls who have a little more of ignorance, they are in the animal kingdom, in the animal bodies. So the difference between us and the animal bodies is human bodies have a little more passion than these animal bodies on this planet. Okay? That is in general. Okay. In general, that's the journey of the soul. And now, Narada Muni is saying, Prachina Barishat, so this is the tale. He's saying indirectly to Prachina Barishat, do you realize this is your map? Can you see where you are in this? Are you a human being or are you an animal? What do you think you are? So he's making Prachina Barishat think. You are not in a heavenly planet, okay, right? And you are on this earthly planet. So you must be having, either you are in passion or in ignorance. Yeah. So he's making him think what he is. He's getting him more alerted. Then Prachina Barishat is thinking, okay, categorization hua. I belong to this one. And then quickly Narada Muni comes. He gives this example. In this way, this Bhadda Jiva, conditioned so like a street dog, lost street dog, goes from one home to the other, one home to the other. And in some homes, they just drive away the street dog. They just yell and curse the street dog. And in some homes, they feel a little pity on the street dog and they give a little bit something to eat, like that. So in this way, the street dog is Brahmanda Brahmite Kone, going into different bodies. And each body, depending upon what kind of body it is, either giving a little bit of so-called temporary enjoyment to the soul or misery to the soul. Like a street dog, getting a little bit of food at one home and cursing in a different place, like that. So Narada Muni says, this is like a street dog story. In this way, the soul is wandering, lost, like a street dog, sometimes getting little happiness and sometimes getting little misery. Yeah. And it tries to do so much to counteract the miseries. In order to prevent the miseries happening to the Bhadda Jiva, to the conditioned soul, it tries to do the things. See, for example, the human body. Human body, the miseries are there. Old age miseries to aayega, right? But counteracting the old age in the extreme ways. All these novel products that come out, they advertise, right? If you take this pill, then you are always youthful. You don't get old. You don't look old. So counteracting. Because old age is a misery, you're trying to counteract it. That is the symptom of a conditioned soul. They just don't they just don't go with the nature, but try to counteract the miseries. And they become futile. That's what Narada Muni is saying. about the street dog. That's the example. And the beautiful other example he's giving is Yata hi purusho bharam shirasa gurum udvahan tam skandena sadhatte tata sarvaha pratikriyaha. Dear devotees, please see if we are trying to do this. Or please see around if somebody else is trying to do this. What are they doing? Yada hi purusho bharam. When there is bharam on the purusha, when there is a weight on a person, shirasa gurum udvan. Sometimes he puts a weight on the head. Tam skandena sadhatte. And sometimes after it gets so heavy on the head, he transfers it on the shoulder. And transferring a little bit on this, it gets heavy and tired here, transfer it on the other side. Tada sarvahi pratikriyaha. This is what? Sarvahi pratikriyaha. This is how he is dealing with all his activities. Narada Muni is saying. So, a person, he has this bharam, this weight. And he's not trying to get rid of the weight. He's still wanting to carry the weight. Carry this conditioned consciousness. And he's making a little arrangements here. Okay, see like these 3 tapatrayas, right? This Baddha Jiva has the miseries. Has the miseries about, from the people around, from the nature, and from their own self. And what are they doing? Tweaking a little bit. Oh, if I do this a little bit, then maybe I will not be too unhappy. And maybe if I tweak a little bit, then I will not have too much of misery from that person. So coming up with the plans of how not to have the misery of, tapatraya, adibhuta, adibhautika, adidaiva. All the time, their focus is invested in how to tweak these things a little bit in the life so the miseries are not too much. The whole life goes on tweaking these things only so the miseries are not too much. Okay, that's what Narada Muni says. And the third thing he says is, first one is street dog, and second one is the weight on us, which are the 3 kinds of miseries. And the third one is, here in this case, in the case of street dog, okay, street dog is suffering like this, disconnected. It's because it is guided by this Puranjani, the impure intelligence. Then what is the solution for that? A street dog should become a pet dog. A dog has to have an owner. Then this dog doesn't have to go from one house to other house, looking for food, not having shelter, feeling disconnected, feeling miserable. That's the story of the street dog, which is guided by polluted intelligence, ahammameti intelligence. But the dog that is guided by the Shastra, sadhu, and is owned by and is in the shelter of Sri Guru is a pet dog. Right? The pet dog has none of these miseries of street dog. And here in this example, this person, he's carrying this. He could have just put that weight aside. What is the need to carry that? Tapatrayas, all the tapas. I will carry these miseries. I'll carry this, tweak a little bit. The best thing is, tapatrayas, the miseries will be there. But instead of adjusting and tweaking a little bit, what do we do? Lord Kapila says that in the 3rd chapter. When you take the shelter of Guru and Krishna and hear the katha, then all the tapatrayas, one will be able to overcome all the tapatrayas. This is is Lord Kapila. In the very beginning, he was instructing Mother Devahuti. Tapanti vividastapanaita matkata chetasaha. Tapanti vividastapanaita matkata chetasaha. When one takes shelter and hears the Krishna Katha, then they transcend the tapas. The tapas will be there, may be there, but they transcend. They become so immune that their absorption is matkata chetasaha. Their absorption is into my chitta. They're so much absorbed into my gunas and chitta, they don't even realize that they have tapas. That is by taking the shelter of Guru. When somebody hears the katha, then tapanti vividastapanaita matkata chetasaha. So that is the solution, to get rid of the tapas, to become immune to the tapas, not to tweak it a little bit and carry on the whole life. Right? And the third example, Narada Muni, he's saying, say, if a person has bad nightmares, he's fast asleep and he's having nightmares. In the nightmares, he's sweating. His heart is palpitating. Bichara, he's really going through the pain. Blood pressure is going up and the heart is beating fast and he's sweating because the tiger is running after him. That's the nightmare. What is the solution for that nightmare? The solution is not like, okay, now the tiger is running behind me, right? This is a nightmare. So I will start thinking something very nice, as if I am in the heavenly gardens. Oh, nahi hoga. That person is fast asleep. There is a nightmare going on. And you cannot counteract it with a hallucination. Hallucination means thinking which is not present, that is not existing. That is hallucination. So you cannot counteract a nightmare with hallucination. For somebody who is going through the nightmare, the best thing, solution is wake up. And when you wake up, then the nightmare ends. That's why, oh Prachina Barihi, Prachina Barishat, it's time for you to wake up now. The nightmare that you have seen, that I've shown you, that in 3D, in the future vision, all the animals that were killed by you, they are going to come and devour you. That's a nightmare. Now it's time for you to wake up. What is that waking up? Knowing that we are spiritual. Not only that, Mama eva amsa jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. Mama eva amsa, jiva loke. Lord Krishna is saying, we are the amsa of the Lord, amsa of the Bhagavan. That is waking up. Waking up to the reality is waking up to the spirituality, that we are spirit soul. And we are connected to the super soul. That's the reality. So one wakes up like that. When one wakes up like that, then tapanti vividastapanaita. There's no more nightmare. And now Narada Muni is coming to the direct instruction here. Have you seen? Have you seen all these 3 examples? Do you see yourself there? Now, this is what you need to do. The only remedy is waking up and taking shelter. So surrender to Krishna through Guru. The verses are beautiful. When you get a chance, please read this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's a very 36th verse. Yeah. So the only remedy is bhakti, which can be done to Bhagavan through Sharanagati to Sri Guru. And what happens after that? Okay, now we said it's waking up, right? The nightmares will be gone, right? So what would one feel after waking up to the spiritual reality, after taking shelter of Krishna through Sri Guru? Yeah. First thing is, they will develop detachment. Narada Muni is saying, without taking Sharanagati to the Lord through Guru, there is no question of detachment. And there is no way that one can have a realized knowledge. This has come in the very beginning, in the first canto, in the process of bhakti. Yeah. What happens when somebody takes up bhakti? These are the two things: detachment and knowledge. Vairagya. Here, dear devotees, this is what Narada Muni is saying. There is no question of detachment or knowledge without Sharanagati to Sri Guru to worship the Lord. Is this reminding you of something? Lord Kapila's teaching, what did he say? The Baddha Jiva is Bahirmukha and is very much attached to the external things. And this conditioned soul cannot turn inwards, cannot become Antarmukha on its own. There's no question. It has to attach to the sadhu. It has to attach to the sadhu. So attachment to the material world has to be shifted to the attachment to the sadhu. And that attachment to the sadhu will make the soul Antarmukha from Bahirmukha. Same thing here. Narada Muni is saying. Through Sharanagati to Guru, it means attachment to a sadhu. Attachment to the sadhu slowly brings us towards Krishna. Internally, towards Krishna. Because we are brought towards Krishna, because we are made to Krishnaize everything, we see everything as Krishna's. So in that way, we are detached with everything and everybody around through service, because we are seeing them as Krishna's. And before the situation of this street dog, yeah, the very problem here is, remember, the I and mine conception, aham mameti. Okay, I am here and everything I see around is mine, right? Like that. And now, because we have now attachment to the sadhu, the aham mameti is now slowly replaced by Krishnaizing. It's not about I, and it's not about mine around. It is about Krishna. Krishna is the center and everything belongs to Krishna. So when everything belongs to Krishna, what is our relationship with everything and everybody around? It's the service. So we are not clinging on to the people, clinging on to the things. We are detached from them through giving service. It's like a drop of water on the lotus petals or leaves. The drop is there on the leaf, but the leaf is not wet. So when we Krishnaize through the attachment, through the sadhu, it's not easy to Krishnaize, not at all for conditioned soul. That's why it doesn't happen. We cannot do it. Only when we take the shelter, Sharanagati of a sadhu, who can do it, who has done it, and who can instruct us how to do it, that's when it slowly happens. Yeah, as Krishnaizing slowly happens, and that's when though the people are around, though the things are around, we are not attached to them, we are detached to them. Detached not with a hard-heartedness, cutting off. Detached through the service. Detached from the self-centeredness by attaching to Krishna-centeredness. So that's what it means, detaching through the service. It's a lifelong process, everyday process. It's an ongoing process. Yeah? But that happens when we are connected, sheltered with Sri Guru. Because it's not an easy thing. That is why we are in this material world. And we cannot do this on our own. So we are in the shelter of the sadhu, guru, who knows how to do it, who can teach us how to do it, and who can hold our hand and help us put baby steps from Bahir Mukha to Antar Mukha, like that. Okay, so that's how a Sharanagati to Guru and Krishna gives detachment and the knowledge. And we may be thinking, knowledge? Anybody can get that. See, there are so many people who knows what's there in Bhagavad Gita. They can recite. Mam eva ye prapatyante mayetam. Daivihesha gunamahimam maya duratya. Mam eva ye prapatyante mayetam tarantite. There's so many people who can just write the translation of that, who can recite the shlokas. What does this knowledge means? This knowledge is not a textual knowledge. Yeah, not the information bank knowledge that we are talking about. Once the Sharanagati to Guru and Krishna happens, yeah, with that, the realized knowledge happens. What does that mean? Like in this case, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Oh my God, Krishna. I kind of by-hearted this verse before. Mama Maya Duratyaya. My Maya is insurmountable. That is so true, Krishna. I have taken initiation and I'm trying to do the Sharanagati and I'm trying to learn. I'm doing my very best. This is not easy, Krishna. Mama Maya Duratyaya. When I try to do this on my own, it's so impossible. You're right, Krishna. What do I do? Mam evaye prapatyante. Okay. I will learn what that prapatti is. And once we start learning and start doing that prapatti, and then mayayetam tarantite. You're really carrying us to the other side of the ocean, Krishna, as you are promised in the Gita. You are mayayetam tarantite. This is realized knowledge. The knowledge that is heard when experienced and lived is realized knowledge. That can happen when there is so much commitment that we want to become antarmukha. That commitment, when it is geared to a realized soul, then the realized knowledge. So that's what Narada Muni says. And not just that, not just the detachment and knowledge. When we take the Sharanagati to Guru and Krishna, what else will happen? Dear devotees, please see. Narada Muni is saying, this hearing leads to seeing the Lord. Narada Muni is saying, you take the shelter of Guru and Krishna and you hear from the sadhu, and you will, as you hear, you will see the Lord. Really? Is that happening to us? As we are hearing, are we seeing the Lord? Then what kind of hearing is ours? You know what kind of hearing is ours? Our hearing is, okay, I'm going to hear now and we'll see what happens. Yeah. Itna weightage nahi. And there's other kind of hearing, which is Sharanagata Shravana. What is that? How can that be done? This is the Katha, Bhagavat Katha. This is given by my Gurujana. And now this arrangement is made so this Katha can go into my ears. So this is a special mercy coming to me. So I can hear about the Lord. So when this mood of this is a prasad coming, and I want to be attentive and respectful to what is being given, and all that I have to do is hear this Katha that is coming from the Gurujana, from the Shuddha Bhakta. And yes, the Rupa, Guna, Leela will automatically happen. That kind of faith. So that kind of mood of receiving mercy Number one, I am receiving mercy here. Where is my attentiveness and implicit faith that whatever is being now heard, that is spoken by the Shuddha Bhaktas, will come true? When these things are there, that's Sharanagata Shravana. When we hear like that, hearing leads to seeing the Lord. This is what Narada Muni is saying. When we hear from the Shuddha Bhaktas, from the Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, and the disciples of Srila Prabhupada who are Shuddha Bhaktas, we want to hear like this. Sharanagata Shravana. Then seeing the Lord will happen. And okay, where can this Sharanagata Shravana happen? Where can this Kirtana happen? Yatra Bhagavata Rajan Sadhavo Vishadashayaham Bhagavat Gunanukhatana Shravana Vyagrachetasaham. Yatra Bhagavata Rajan, O Rajan, Prachina Barhishat, wherever there are Bhagavatas who are carrying Bhagavan in them, they are sadhavas, they are vishadashayas, they are very pure. And what do? There Bhagavat Gunanukatana will happen. They will glorify the gunas of the Bhagavan. And when they are glorifying, Shravana Vyakrachetasaha, with mind fixed there, consciousness fixed there, do the Shravana. What happens when we do like that? Tasmin Mahan Mukharitam. Tasmin Mahan Mukharita Madhubir Charitram Piyusha Sesha Saritaham Parita Shravanti Taye Pibanti Avitrisho Nrupagada Karnais Tanna Sprishyanti Ashana Trid Bhaya Shoka Moha. This is what happens. When you do that kind of Sharanagata Shravana from these Bhagavatas who are sadhavas, who are Vishadashayas, and who are doing this Guna Anukirtana of Hari, Anukatha of Hari, then Tasmin Mahan Mukharita Madhubit Charitra. Mahan Mukharita, this Mahabhaktas, from their mouth, when Madhubit Charitra comes, when the pastimes of the killer of Madhu demon comes, what should you do? Piyusha Sesha Sarita Parita Shravanti. This nectar, Piyusha, Sesha, without satiation, with that enthusiasm and inquisitiveness and the lavelyam of I want to have more and more, Sarita, these rivers, Parita Shravanti, Parita, everywhere, Shravanti, flowing. Yeah. So when these Mahan Bhaktas are speaking from their Mukharita, from their mouth, about the Charita of Madhusudana, that is like a nectar which is flowing as rivers around, all around. Taye pibanti avitrisho, then drink avitrisho, without satiation. Drupa, O king, Prachina Barhishat, Ghada Karnais, with very attentive ears. Then what happens? Tanna, there will not be Sprishanti, you will not feel Ashana, Trid, Bhaya, Shoka, Moha. Not the hunger, not the thirst, there is no fear, there is no lamentation, there is no illusion. This is what happens when somebody does Sharanagata Shravana from the Bhagavata, from those Mahan Mukharita. When they drink, when they pibanti, those rivers of nectar, this is what is going to happen. So not only the detachment, and this is a joyful detachment, not a miserable detachment, not a cut-off detachment. A joyful detachment, realized knowledge, and on top of that, there is no feeling of thirst, hunger, bhayam, shokam, lamentation, and illusion, moha. Illusion is what? Our lifelong disease, ahamamiti, that's illusion. So all these are gone. How are they gone? In whose presence are they gone? When we do what, they are gone? In the presence of Mahan. When they're doing mukharita, when they're speaking. What are we doing? Pibanti, drink. What are we drinking? Nectar. Nectar of the charita of the mother. So these are the effects of having, we cannot just say having the association of sadhus. Look at the depth of that association. So intertwined, so attached, affectionately attached to a sadhu with implicit faith, attentive ears, and sharanagata shravana. Again and again, the same message. Narada Muni is saying the same too. So, Prachina Barishat, that's what you should do. What is it happening to Prachina Barishat, by the way? That is what is happening to him. Because that Mahan Mukhachuto is Narada Muni speaking. And what happens when that Mahan Mukhachuto, when the sadhu speak? Everyone should take shelter of the Lord, who is Super Soul, Supreme Controller, shelter of all. When they are speaking like that, all these things, these are the preliminary things that will happen. So far, dear devotees, what has happened? The detachment has happened. Wow, is that so? Realized knowledge has come. That is awesome. And then, I don't feel the hunger. I don't feel the thirst. I have no fear. I have no misery. And I am not in illusion now. I am not in ahamamiti now. All that has happened. And this is kalena na atidirgena bhagavan vashate hridi. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati. This is the final thing that happens. With so much of attachment to that katha that is coming from the sadhus, with the sharanagata shravana, then the shelter to the lotus feet of Lord Hari, then the service to the lotus feet of Lord Hari will be given. This is how Shri Guru, Sadhu Guru gives the shelter and gives the service to the lotus feet of Lord Hari. Okay. And finally, Narada Muni is saying, who can become Guru? Savai priyatamaschatma yato na bhayam anvapi iti veda savai vidvan yo vidvan saguro harihi. One who knows this, yo vidvan saguro harihi, can become a guru and is equal to Hari. What is it? One should know. Savai priyatamaschatma yato na bhayam anvapi. When we take the shelter of the Supreme Lord in the heart, then there is not a tinge, a mustard seed of bhayam in us. This is what it means, abhayam. Srila Prabhupada said in his purport in Bhagavad Gita, in those chapters, in the mode of the qualities of goodness, one of the qualities, fearlessness. And that's where Srila Prabhupada says, a devotee is fearless because he is always under the shelter of the Lord. in the heart. He always has Paramatma with him, like that. So there is no fear. There is a fear when we see ourselves as alone. But we are not anotha. We are not orphans. When we feel we are orphans, there is fear. But we are sanatha. The Dwarkavasis, when they were welcoming Lord Krishna back to Dwaraka from Hastinapura, that's what they were singing. Sanatha, we are Sanatha. We have you. Like that. So when we have fear, it means we are feeling like an orphan. But we are not orphans. We are not anatha. We are sanatha. We have Guru and Krishna at all times with us. Then there is no fearless. Fear. There is no fear at that time. There is fearlessness. So this is the result of hearing from the sadhu. He has taught Prachina Parishad how to do bhakti, how to hear. How to do bhakti is take Sharanagati and then do the Sharanagati Shravana. And then you will see the form of the Lord. As they are hearing through the ear, you will see. Sutekshita pado nanunada pumsam. We see the transcendental world not with the eyes, but with the ears, as we hear from the realized souls who are in the transcendental realm and are speaking, those Vishuddha Bhaktas. That's when we can see that Vishuddha Sattva. Right? So Narad Muni has explained the whole thing. And this is how you feel. And this is how you take shelter of the Super Soul and serve him. And you will not have any bhayam. Done. Prachina Parishad, the great fortunate soul. Now he had Narada Muni as his guru. And he had heard Narada Muni with such attention. That's Sharanagata Shravana. Right? He had heard that. And then the next thing is, it's like he got the initiation, he got the Sharanagati of the Guru, and he gave the instructions of how to serve Krishna. So now he got inspired. He got inspired. And he says, oh wow, this is so good. How come I did not know about this in the past? How come I ended up with this karma kanda? My God, I thought all those sages that taught me all that knowledge in karma kanda, even them, they can be in illusion too. But you have taken me out of this illusion. This is so good. I am very thankful. But I have a question. You are saying this Puranjana has become Vaidarbi, right? How is this karma passing from one life to the next life? What is the proof? I know you said the allegorical story, but what is the proof that karma can be passed from one body to the other body? Then Narad Muni, he speaks about how the soul gets transmigrated. He says, this karma is present in the subtle body, in the mind. So all the impressions, what does the mind do? Thinking, feeling, willing. So whatever this subtle body mind has been thinking, feeling, and wanting to do for so many lifetimes in the past, they're all seated here. They're all registered there in the CD. Everything is there. So this is where the karma is coming from. Because all the impressions are in this subtle body. This subtle body is made of what? The mind, the intelligence, and ahamkara. These are the different parts of that software, that subtle body. Mind, intelligence, ahamkara. All of them under the aham mameti, corrupted software hai. And this is the seat of karma. As long as this subtle body has these impressions of I want to do this, I want to feel this, and And the thinking, any thought that goes about this material world, as long as these things are present in the subtle body, then the soul has to go to a different body. It has to take up a material body, because all these three things are present. The CD is still full, so it has to be played in a different body. If the CD is empty, then no body is needed. If the CD is full of Krishna, then this goes to the Krishna's world, right? So now that the CD has all the material stuff going on, it has to go into a material body. In this way, the soul transmigrates, changes the body from one body to the another body, one body to the another body, like that. And here, that transmigration is compared as a caterpillar. Caterpillar moving from one leaf to the other leaf, like that. The soul going from one body to the other body, it is compared like that in the caterpillar thing. And Narad Muni also says a little more information about the subtle body. This is the seat of karma. This is the seat of dreams. So one can say, this is the seat of dreams. So when somebody is seeing something in the dream, it's because they have impressions from the previous life. That's one thing. Second thing he says is, because this corrupted CD hai, and it is going to play in a material body, just by the way a person behaves, we can say what his body was in his past life. For example, if somebody really likes to eat animals, eat meat, and doesn't, and is not really kind at all, right? So a lot of violence there, complete ignorance. So this particular person might have been in the animal body in the past life, like that. So in this way, whatever our present birth is, can give an indication of what our birth was in the past. Can we think what our birth was in the past? All of us who are hearing Krishna Katha, our birth in the past might have been definitely a human birth hearing the Krishna Katha. And that's why we are given the human body and we are continuing. Yeah. So like that, Narada Muni says about this subtle body and how the transmigration happens. And he compares it with a caterpillar. In this way, Prachina Parishad is enlightened. After he hears this, he doesn't wait too long. He gets so inspired that he wanted to stop doing this karma kanda, start bhakti. Even before these prachetas, they come from the forest. Even before they come back from the forest, Prachina Parishad leaves the kingdom. He goes to Vanaprastha, and starts practicing bhakti as instructed by his sadhu guru Narada Muni. So that's how Prachina Parishad was very fortunate with the instructions of Narada Muni. This is very wonderful. Prachina Parishad, wonderful, great fortune. And what is happening with prachetas? Prachetas, remember, they are all under the sea, under this water. Yeah. And under the water, they are singing Rudra Gita. And then what happened? 10,000 years, non-stop, no food, no water. That's it. They've been singing Rudra Gita. Lord Vishnu arrives there. Beautiful form of Lord Vishnu. He comes underneath the water. And behind him are all the sages and his associates. And it is described that Lord Vishnu was looking like a black, beautiful black cloud on Meru-like Garuda, golden Garuda. And how is the Lord? With a peaceful smile, decorated helmet, the garland that's going down to his knees, and Chaturbhuja, 4 shoulders, 8 arms, holding different weapons, and also a lotus. so pleasing to the eye. And our Prachetas, all the tiredness that they had for 10,000 years, as soon as they had darshan of Bhagavan, they felt so relieved. They didn't feel tired anymore. They felt jubilant. And even before Pracheta said anything, the Lord started speaking. Why is it like that? There is something the Lord really liked about the Prachetas. The Lord is saying, so Hrudam, this is friendship. This is a beautiful Sanskrit word. And this also, please, you can read the shloka in the Bhagavatam. Sauhardam. Yeah, Sauhardam. I am very much pleased. I am very much pleased with your Sauhardam. How all of you, all 10 of you, so friendly to each other, and you are one in your purpose, the devotional service. This is what is very pleasing to me. You are all united together for one purpose, that is devotional service. And you're all so friendly to each other. I am very much pleased with you. And whoever hears about you, then they will glorify these qualities of you. These are very attractive qualities, and they will be celebrated all over the world. You not only were submissive to your father when they said, okay, you go ahead, do the austerities. You were happily submissive. Yeah. And you came and you were all friendly together, and you're united in the purpose of your tapas, that is devotional service. I am very much pleased with you. This is what the Lord says. This is something that we need to make a note of daily. Yes, bhakti is a personal journey, internal journey, but we are doing it together. This is very much similar to, when we are traveling in a train, we have our own ticket. We sit in our seat and we are having our own journey, right? But at the same time, we have people around us in the same bogie, in the same, in the same berth, right? In the same bogie. We have people around us and we interact with them. We share with them. And if there is something that comes upon us, they're there. So give and take is happening with the people around in the same compartment. Yes, we are doing our personal journey, but there is so much of natural give and take that happens with the people around, with the devotees around. That is a very crucial and important part of bhakti. So it's not so much about, I am doing this service to you, my Lord. That is very good. But equally important is the Vaishnava interactions. And Vaishnava interactions, when they are beneficial to the other Vaishnavas, and when it is uplifting to the other Vaishnavas, that is Vaishnava Seva. If our interaction is not helpful to others, that is not even Vaishnava Sangha. If it's not uplifting and beneficial to others. Right? So that is why Vaishnava Sangha is also equally important in the equation. When the Vaishnava Sangha is there, and Shravanam happens together, we hear together and we serve together. This is where major purification happens. Whatever Rajoguna that we have, the differences that we have, the anger we have, the envy we have, and anything that we have, because we are united in one purpose, devotional service, we let them go. We let that anger go. We let that envy go. Like that. So that's the beauty of Vaishnava Sangha and Vaishnava Seva together. That's how the purification happens. Whatever is impure that is within us, we let it go. And we are united to do the Seva together. So bhakti is definitely a personal, internal, serious, sincere journey. accompanied by this precious devotees around. So there's a journey together, a personal internal journey together with the other devotees. And that's very pleasing to the Lord. That's what he's saying. And then he says, even before Pracheta say, I'm very pleased with you. Okay, this is what is going to happen to you. You have done all this tapasya. I know you need a wife because you have to go to the kingdom and you have to have a son, and make that son the king, and then you have to go to Vanaprastha and then do the austerities there, and then you will come back to Godhead. So this is the whole plan, whole scheme, I know. So your immediate need is you need to have a wife. Yes, you have a wife, and her name is Marisha. Okay, she's the daughter of Apsara called Ramlocha and the sage Canto. Okay, this Marisha is in the forest. She was left there because neither Pramlocha nor Canto. Pramlocha Apsara, she has to go back to her heaven. Canto sage, he is a sage. He cannot take care of the daughter. So she was left to the trees in the forest. And taking pity on her, the king of the trees, means the trees grow because of the moon rays. So the moon god raised this child, Marisha. Okay, so she is a wonderful, wonderful pair for you. Okay, so you will marry her. All 10 of you, you are same in your mentality. So you will marry her, and you will get a son by name Daksha, and he will be not any inferior to Brahma. He will be a Prajapati. Okay, to that Daksha you will give the kingdom, and then actually you will rule the kingdom for 1 million celestial years. You will enjoy all the facilities, and then you will make Daksha the king, and then you will go to the forest, and in the forest you will become cleansed, detached, and you will get ready to come back to my spiritual abode. That's what he says. Then the Prachetas say, wow, oh my Lord, Namo Namah Klesha Vinashanaya Nirupitodara Gunapayaya Mano Vacho Vega Puro Javaya Sarvakshamargai Agatatvanen Namaha. Oh Lord, Namah, Namah, my obeisances, our obeisances to you. You are Klesha Vinashanaya. All the kleshas, all the sufferings, you do the Vinashana. You destroy all the sufferings. Nirupito Udara Gunahvayaya. This is beautiful, dear devotees. Nirupita. It is proven, Udara, your magnanimity in the qualities and in your Nama is proven. And you are Mano Vacho Vega Purojavaya. You are more faster than the mind and than the words. In other words, you cannot be captured by the mind or with the words. Sarvakshamargai Agatadvanem Namaha. And you cannot be captured by the senses too. So to you, who are Klesha Vinashanaya, we are going down to you. And then they say how the Lord enters into the material world. The other shloka, this is very relevant to us. Do you see, dear devotees? This happens with all the pure devotees in the Bhagavatam. What do? When the Bhagavan appears, this is Guna Varnana, Nama Rupa Guna, right? They are doing the Varnana of the Guna. They are glorifying the transcendental qualities. These are all the transcendental qualities. He's a Klesha Vinashanaya. So he destroys the miseries. And he is magnanimous. Yeah. And he cannot be caught by mind or words. These are all the qualities of the Lord. And this is something that may cheers us up. Annapayani Radha Mataji, just to let you know, your video is on, just in case if you didn't notice that. Yeah. So this brings jubilation to us. Namo Vishuddha Sattvaya Hariye Harimedase. Namo Vishuddha Sattvaya. He is Vishuddha Sattva. There's no tinge of modes at all. Vishuddha, not even Shuddha, Vishuddha. Vishuddha Sattvaya. Haraye. He's doing Harinchadam. He is stealing what? He's stealing our miseries. He wants to steal away our miseries. Hari made us say, he's made us, his intelligence is always thinking, how can I steal the miseries of my devotees? How can I make their troubles go away? So our Lord is busy thinking like that. Hari made us say. This is all Gunanu Varnana. Vasudevaya Krishnaya Prabhave Sarva Sattvatam. This is even more. Vasudevaya Krishnaya, you are always Prabhave Sarva Sattvatam. Sarva Sattvatam are all devotees. Prabhave. You increase their influence. You glorify all your devotees. These are the transcendental ways of the Lord. And then the description of the Rupa of the Lord is also there, beautiful. And after that, Rupa Gunalila, then what is the benediction that our Prachetas are asking? You can guess by this time. Yavatte Mayaya Sprishta Brahmama Iha Karmibhi Tavat Bhavat Prasanganam Sangaha. Give me the Sangha of Bhavat Prasanganam, whoever is glorifying you. Finally, they say, Tulayama Lavena Api na Swargam na Punarbhavam Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Ki Mutasishaha. I want that Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. We want that Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. It is again saying Tula. That Rudragita, in Rudragita also the same thing came, right? There is more than the material bhoga and the liberation. So they're asking, please, Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. That is our only prayer, our Lord. What is this? Everybody is asking Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. These Prachetas, they are asking Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. Narada Muni, he was saying, Mahan Mukhachuta. Prithu Maharaj, he was the same. Mahat Antarhrada Mukhachuto and Bhavat Pada Sudhakananila. He was asking the same thing. Dhruva Maharaj, he was asking the same thing, right? Dhruva Maharaj, what was he saying? Dhruva Maharaj. That's beautiful sloka too. So everybody was asking. Everybody is asking. Even Rudra Gita. Lord Shiva says, okay, when the Lord appears, when Lord Narayana appears, this is what you ask. Susattva Shilina. Ask the Sangha of the Susattva Shilina. Why like this? What happens when there is Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya? We have just heard, right? What happened to Prachina Barishat? Totally materialistic. Turned into what? He couldn't wait to leave the kingdom to go do bhakti. That's what happens when there is Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. When they speak, Bhavat Kada Suna Kanalila, Sudha Kanalila. The saffron dust particles from the lotus feet of the Lord present in their heart. That will increase the faith and ruchi, and not only that, they engage the bhaktas in the service of the Lord. in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. That's what we just heard from Narada Muni. Same thing from the Kumaras. Yasya padara vinda nayanasya. So same, because all these Shuddha Bhaktas, this Bhagavat Sangasya, these Bhagavatas, not only they give us the faith, the ruchi, but the instruction and engages us in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. See, Bhagavan is coming here. They are getting the darshan. Is that enough? Just the darshan is not enough. How serving the Bhagavan pleases, right? I mean, service is such a great pleasure. Our pleasure also increases. That's the beauty of transcendental loving service. But who knows how to serve Bhagavan better? Who has so much of preeti for Bhagavan, right? So they should teach us, they should give us the shelter, and they will engage us in the loving service of Bhagavan. That's why Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya. Okay. So in this way, Prachetas, after the Lord blesses, the Prachetas, they come out. They offer obeisance to the Lord, and then they come out. After they come out, they see all these trees, big trees in the forest, and they're like, we are going to rule the kingdom, and these are too big. The sun rays are being obstructed. We have to burn them. So Prachetas start burning everywhere, and the Brahma has to come down. No. Not so much of burning. Yeah. And by the way, you have done the tapasya. You got this benediction. Now you have, please go ahead, marry this Marisha, right? The name of the Marisha. Yeah. Please go ahead, marry Marisha. And then, yes, please go ahead, rule the kingdom. That's what Brahma says. And then, of course, they marry Marisha. And then they go to the kingdom. And as the Lord said, they rule for 1 million celestial years. Done, ruling done. And they give the throne to Daksha. And quickly they come back to the Vana, the forest. There are two shlokas here, dear devotees. This is very last one. How the Prachetas are going back to Godhead. They come to the Vana forest after making Daksha the king. And then in the hermitage of Jajili Muni, they do this tapasya, Ashtanga Yoga. So they were doing this tapasya and they were in different poses. That's when Narada Muni comes. They stop their Ashtanga Yoga. They receive Narada Muni. This is one thing we have to remember, dear devotees. We are just sadhakas. And our service is sadhana service, right? But when the Mahajanas comes, when the advanced devotees come, we have to acknowledge them. Even though we are doing the service, we should acknowledge them and then move on with the service. Yeah. So these Prachetas, they acknowledged Narada Muni and they invited Narada Muni. And then this Prachetas said, they're already doing the Ashtanga Yoga, and then right in those days, that's the way to go. But they say, oh, we have forgotten everything because we were there for 1 million celestial years ruling. Yeah. Can you please enlighten us more? Again, remember, this is what the Lord's benediction also. He said, you will rule for 1 million years, and after that you get detached. So now the Narad Muni has to come. And to give this complete detachment now, he is saying to Prachetas. This is, we have already heard anyway, about what Narada Muni said to Prachetas. Is more about how bhakti is, how everything is useless without bhakti. That's one thing. Second thing is how service to the Lord can satisfy all the demigods. So this is how he's saying how bhakti is the very ornament. And who should be served? The Lord should be served. He is considered at the roots of the tree. Yeah. This is the very end of 4th canto, dear devotees. There are 3 beautiful slokas. Okay. So we'll spend about 5 minutes for this. And then that way, the instructions of Narada Muni to the Prachetas will be complete. And they are very relevant to us too. What are the relevance? These 3 things. One is Shrutena tapasa vakim vacho vischitta vrittibhim buddhya vakim nipunaya balendriya radhasam. That's one thing. Kim va yogena sankhena nyasa swadhyayo ratmi kim va shreyo vir anaschena yatratma pradohariti. He's saying basically, what's the use of having knowledge? What's the use of having education? What's the use of you doing tapasya? What's the use of speaking so very well, eloquently? What's the use of intelligence? What's the use of strength? Everything is useless if there's no bhakti. And so what does that mean? There's so many people who has knowledge, right? And they may be doing austerities. And even us too, when it is pertaining to us, where is our focus? That's what we want to look at it. Is my focus more on accumulating lot of knowledge, even if it is devotional knowledge? And is my focus doing more and more of austerities? I will not eat this, eat that, like that, doing a lot of austerities. And is my focus in speaking so well? I have to speak this Krishna Katha so well. Is it focused so much on speaking? And Chitta Vrittibi. Is my focus on mental speculation? I mean, everything is directly given by Shastra and the sadhu is speaking. Instead of directly taking it, why am I doing this mental speculation? If this is this means this means that. If that happens, ye kya ho raha hai mental speculation? Chitta Vrittibi. Is that, am I investing my time there? Buddhya. What is my intelligence? What is it of any use if my intelligence is not saying, Daivihesha gunamai, mam evaye prapatyante. If the intelligence is saying, no. The summit of me, my intelligence is, you have to do prapatti. This is what the Shastra is saying. This is what the sadhu is saying. Okay, this is what I'm saying also. You have to do prapatti. If the intelligence is not saying that, what good is that intelligence? And nipunaya. Oh, you're doing everything so perfect. You're doing the services and you want to do it perfect, and you think you're doing so perfect, and all your time and focus is to do it perfectly, to sing it so well, to do such beautiful deity declaration. The focus is just to do it perfectly. The seva has to be done in a sharanagata bhava. Otherwise, what is if we are doing the deity decoration, it is like decorating anything else if there is no sharanagata bhava. So it's not about the naipunya, perfection. Even Krishna Katha too. What perfection do we have to speak? To speak Krishna Katha. There is no perfection at all. But as the mercy that is received, we are sharing the mercy. Unless there is sharanagata bhava, then whatever we are doing, this is useless. And what is a sharanagata bhava? That mood of this is mercy. This is my prashant. Yeah, like that. To the Lord, like that. Okay. That's one thing. And the second shloka is very beautiful one. This we have heard it many times. An important one. Yatha taror moola nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashaka Pranopaharattha yadendriyanam tadaiva sarvarhanamachyutejyam. If we want to keep the people around happy, we don't go and put individual efforts to make everybody happy. We cannot make everybody happy. Whatever happiness anybody has to get, they will get it when we make Krishna happy. It's like this. Yada taror mula nishechanena. Taror are roots. Mula are roots, right? So for the leaves and twigs and the branches to be happy, don't go pour water there. You cannot keep them happy for a long time. Pour the water on the roots, then whatever water they get, that is good. That is what they will be happy. That's one thing. So pour the water in the roots. Try to keep Krishna happy, not individually everybody happy. Tripyanti tan skanda bhujopashaka. And the other example Narad Muni is giving is Pranopahara chayadendriyanam. Okay, one may say, I will put some water on the leaves, on the twigs, and here a little bit on the branches and also on the roots. So I will worship this demigod, that demigod. I'll try to please this person, that person, do the worship of this demigod, that demigod, and I will also worship Krishna. For that, Narada Muni is saying again, Pranopahara chayadendriyanam. If the indriyas have to be nourished, if the body has to be nourished, the food has to go into the stomach. You don't put food on the hand, some on the feet, and some on the head. So this is making it quite clear. The food has to go into the stomach. You should just be in complete Krishna bhavana. Then everything else will be nourished. You don't have to worry about, I didn't worship this demigod, that demigod. No. Don't have to worry. All the nourishment will go there as it goes throughout the body and as it happens in the tree. Tadaiva sarvarhanam achyuteja. In this way, when Achyuta Ija, when the Achyuta is worshipped, this will be the effect. So that is the answer for we have to do the demigod worship. And demigod worship, we want to respect demigods. We want to respect them. And if we are respecting them and if we are offering some seva, in a view that how they are related to Krishna, as the tattva, Shakti tattva or Shiva tattva, how they are related. Vaishnavanam yadashandi, like that. So in relevance to Krishna, we offer worship, but not separately from Krishna or as a superior to Krishna. That's it, dear devotees. This is all wonderful. The final gem that Narada Muni is giving us. This is the shloka. How can we please Krishna? Tushyati ashu janardana. How is Janardana going to be tushyati? How is he going to be pleased? You have to do this. The prachetas, I'm going to leave now in few minutes, Narada Muni is saying. This is my last instruction to you. Okay? If you want to please Janardana, Dayaya sarva bhuteshu santushyayena kenava sarvendriyo pashantaya cha tushyati ashu janardanaha dayaya sarva bhuteshu. Again and again. Does anything ring to you? Daya sarva bhuteshu budam sarva bhutanam jivadaya. Kindness to all the living entities. And when we say kindness, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada says, when we give Krishna to them, when we give Krishna Katha to them, Krishna Nama to them, that is the ultimate kindness. And before that is, we want to make them receptive to take Krishna Katha and Krishna Nama. So we We meet where they are and do the prachar accordingly, like Narada Muni is doing, right? So we want to connect with them wherever they are and then give Krishna Nama and Krishna Katha. That is also kindness. Connect to them where they are. Provide what kind of help they may need, and through that, give Krishna Katha. Like that. So if somebody is a really recipient, then directly Krishna Katha, Krishna Nama. Okay? So that is Jivadaya. And Santushya Ena Kenava, always being satisfied. Dear devotees, are we doing this? Are we satisfied? Are we feeling grateful for what is given so far? Very important. Very important. Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, I wanted to see what Srila Prabhupada said. How can a devotee be satisfied all the time? Srila Prabhupada directly says, devotees have to be satisfied to spread Krishna consciousness. That's the vacha of a pure devotee. We have to be satisfied to spread Krishna consciousness. It means we have to be satisfied with the Krishna that is being given to us so we can spread Krishna consciousness. That's what we are understanding. So, being satisfied. No complaining. No complaining, being satisfied. Of course, we want to be enthusiastic so we can reciprocate with the Lord more. But in the place of resentment, there should be satisfaction. Sarvendriya Upashantaya Cha. This is Sarva Indriya Upashantaya. You should have sense control. If you can think about it. If we don't have sense control, we can't really have the other two things. Please think about it. See, for example, say there is only one slice of pizza left. Okay, and we really want to eat that pizza. We really like it. And somebody else walks in. And they are looking for the pizza too. They are hungry and they like it. But we like this pizza so much, we don't have the control on the senses. Are we able to show Jivadaya on them? And do we really have the satisfaction within us? Okay, if there is a pizza, then maybe a little taste is okay for me. I'll distribute the rest of it. That's santushta. So that's why sense control is important. It's hard to be kind to others without sense control because we are already being dragged by the senses. We have our own desires and we become numb and we become deaf to the needs of others. Sense control that's why important. That is it. That's what Narada Muni says. So this is how you please Janardana, Rachetas. All right. I'm wishing you the very best. Please go ahead, do your tapasya. And then Narada Muni disappears. He returns to his abode. And then Prachetas, they continue their tapasya and they head back home, back to Godhead. So that is the end of the 4th canto. By this time, Vidura has heard everything from Maitreya. All the retirement stories. Dhruva went to the forest, retired. Anga Maharaj, he can't wait to go to the forest and retire. Prithu Maharaj, he received the instructions from 4 Kumaras, went to the forest, retired. And Archie also, yes, went with him. After that, Prachina Barishad, who is so much entangled in the Karma Kanda, even he retired. He couldn't wait to retire after getting all that Shravanam from Narada Muni. And now, Prachetas, they also retired after them. Everybody retired. All the kings. Then he thinks, then what is the Dhritarashtra doing there in Hastinapura? Is he retiring? Is he going to the Vanaprastha? I should just go and awaken him. Then he says, I am so inspired with all these retirement stories. Maitreya Muni, Now, please bless me. I am very much inspired to, to cause some retirement at Hastinapura also. The trust and needs the same thing. So please give me permission so I can go to Hastinapura. That's how Vidura takes leave from Maitreya. That is the fourth canto, devotees. Thank you. I think we started the katha around 8:20. So that's not too bad. Thank you for your time. And as usual, we'll summarize it quickly. That way it feels complete. What we have heard today is Prachina Barhishat. Prachina Barhishat, Narada continued to speak to Prachina Barhishat. Let's do this way. In the fourth canto, we have heard about Sati's Charita, and then Dhruva Charita, then Prithu Charita, and then the Prachetas Charita, Prachina Barhishat. What happened to the Prachetas? They heard the Rudra Gita, and then they sang Rudra Gita for 10,000 years in the water. And Lord Hari, he appeared. And he gave the benediction. He was very impressed by Sauhrudam, the friendship of all the 10 brothers together, and oneness in the purpose, devotional service. And then he said, very good, you will marry Marisha, and then Daksha will be born. 1 billion celestial years, you will rule the kingdom, and then Daksha, you will make Daksha as the king, and then you will go to the forest and you will detach from everything. That's what the Lord said. Exactly the same has happened. Narada Muni came, and then all these 10 Prachetas, they received him very respectfully. And Narada said how everything is of no use at all if there is no bhakti. There we have to bring relevance to us. We wanted to see where our time, focus, and attention is. Is it really pleasing the Lord, or trying to accumulate something outside in the name of bhakti? So bhakti is more important than just accumulating different qualities. That we have heard. And after that, we have heard about Narada Muni, those shlokas, right? How can you please Janardana? That's the last one. Before that, how bhakti is Tadaiva Sarvarham Achyuteja. The worship of Achyuta is enough. That will bring satisfaction. Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tushta. Pouring the water on the roots, so the whole tree with the stems, leaves, and branches can be nourished. Giving the food to the stomach, so the whole body is nourished. In that way, then, with complete Krishna Bhavana, all auspiciousness to oneself and to the entities around can happen. That's about the Chetas. What happened to Prachina Barhi? Prachina Barhishat, Narada Muni, he wanted to enlighten him. So in the last session, as we discussed, first he gives a little future vision of what his future would be if he doesn't realize what he's doing. After that, he gives the allegorical story. And after that, with the request from Prachina Barhishat, he directly instructs Prachina Barhishat. He first clears up the meanings in the allegorical story. And then the second thing is he directly gives the instruction to Prachina Barhishat. First, he makes them realize what he is, like a street dog, like a person who is having the bad dream, right? And like one more thing, that person carrying the load, trying to tweak a little bit. He gives us 3 examples and then makes him realize Prachina Varsha, that is what he's doing, and then tells him that when somebody has a nightmare, the solution is just to wake up. So wake up to your spiritual constitutional position. And after you wake up, you take, waking up is realizing that we are soul and reconnecting to the super soul, right? Re-establishing our connection. That is bhakti. Narada Muni says, so the only solution for this nightmare, miseries, is to take up Sharanagati to Bhagavan through Sri Guru. And then what happens after you take that? You start practicing bhakti, the detachment happens. Happy detachment. Then realized knowledge. Then when we do the Sharanagata Shravana, then there is no hunger, no thirst, no shoka, no moha, no bhaya, no fear, no illusion, and no lamentation. Wonderful. All this has happened. Not just that. He finally says that one will be able to see Bhagavan when he's hearing from the sadhu. That's when we said what Sharanagata Shravana means. Right? That's what we have heard. Finally, he says, this is how you should take shelter of the super soul, Lord Hari, and serve his lotus feet. In this way, Narada Muni enlightens Prachina Barhishat, gives him all the Krishna Katha, and engages him in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. That's Prachina Barhishat. That's the whole 4th canto. Thank you, dear devotees. We're so glad that the whole Katha, I think our little bit of effort, like, okay, you gave us Seva Krishna. We will do the Shravana, we will do the Kirtana. And please, kindly come, sit here. Your Shravanam and Kirtanam is going on. That's how we started, right? So, Krishna. We'll pause here, dear. It's up to you now. Thank you so very much for your sincere association and time and patience.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Please take your time to recover, dear devotees. Yes. We can stop the recording, right? Yeah. Arvind Prabhu, can we stop the recording so we can go ahead with the question and answers?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. We can take off our seatbelt. Yes, please.